Bom, boa tarde a todos. Eu sou Ana Silva, sou professora do programa de mestrado e doutorado da Universidade Estadual do Ceará, em Fortaleza, no Brasil. Eu estou acompanhando o professor Cooke nessa viagem aqui para Portugal. É um prazer estar com vocês aqui, mas eu vou passar a palavra para ele, porque eu já dei uma espiadinha nos slides e vi que o primeiro slide é a apresentação dele. Então, deixo tudo para ele. Obrigada.
A apresentação são 45 minutos, depois tem tempo de colocar questões no final. Se quiser.
Okay. Good afternoon. Okay, nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you everyone for coming to see me on Saturday afternoon. So it's a great honour for me to be here in Coimbra and to be talking to you. So I am Bill Cooke. I'm a professor of strategic management at the University of York in England. I'll tell you a bit about myself, yeah? And then I'll talk about some research I've been doing about management gurus. Okay? You okay? You happy? Yeah. Yeah. I'll talk for maybe 45 minutes? Yeah? Okay. So this is me. I'm a professor, in English we'd say a full professor of strategic management. I work at the University of York Management School in England. Has anyone been to York? York? It's nice. It's a very old, ancient town. Very historic town. If this is England, you know, like this is a bit of a map of England. England. Scotland. Oh, there's Wales. Wales here. York is about here, okay? And I actually live here in Manchester, okay? So I go on the train to York. So the University of York is a new university, 50 years old, and my school is only 10 years old, okay? So it's a new school. We have about 1,000 students, 300 students who are doing master's degrees, and then about 700 doing bachelor's degrees. Okay. Most of our master's degree students, 80%, are from China. Okay. Previously, I worked at the University of Lancaster. York it has master's degrees in marketing, but it doesn't have an MBA. Previously, at Lancaster University and Manchester Business School, I used to teach on the MBA. I used to specialise in change management, those kind of things. Okay, so that's where I was previously. I used to be a management consultant many years ago when I was a boy. Okay, and my research specialism is in change management, and this is what I say, the spatial and temporal spread of management ideas over time. About how management ideas are involved in globalization, and also the history of management ideas. We know one when we see one. Okay? You know that phrase? We know one. I can't define it, but I know one when I see one. Okay? Which makes it hard. Okay? What we actually did, I'm going to put a slide next, okay, which isn't in the research, it's a kind of background to the research, and the writing is too small, you can't read the writing, okay? But you can read the writing when I email the slides, and I'll just say some. We tried to identify some of the criteria. So what we decided to do was try and identify the things that made a guru, and we also went to go and interview some gurus. So we started. This was in Brazil, but as I say, it could be anywhere. There's a popular management magazine in Brazil. How do you say it? How do you pronounce it? This. EXAME. How do you say that in Portuguese? You know? Okay, I had a list, the top 10 management gurus in Brazil. Okay. So we contacted them to get some, and some said they would interview, and some said no. And we also asked them to tell us who they thought was a guru, to tell us who the other gurus are. Okay. In research methodology, that's called the snowball. Snowball, you know that phrase? Snowball? You know, snowball, yeah? I just, it doesn't snow very much here. So, you know, the names come like this. Okay, so we have a number of indicators here. Not every, and these are the different gurus. We interviewed 11 gurus altogether across here. And this is a table. So whenever there's a blue thing, this is what they do, okay? So not everybody does everything. But there's a cluster of things that management gurus do. So first of all, they're in the list, the top 10. So if a popular journal says they're a guru, then we say, okay, they're probably a guru. Or they were snowball, okay? So the other gurus, when we interviewed them, we said, who do you think is a good management guru? And they told us. So some of the others weren't in the list, but so that's how we first selected the gurus. Then the number of speeches. So all except 2 made more than 20 speeches a year. So part of their job was to go and make speeches in conventions, okay, to public conventions. Anyone can go, you can buy a ticket with your own money, or to go to companies, to speak to the managers as part of their management training, management development. So most of them, except 2, did more than 20 speeches a year. Kind of like rock stars or something. Seriously, that's... No, ladies and gentlemen! And it's true. Well, alright, yeah. Okay. Many of them, this is bestsellers. Most of them had written a best-selling management book. Okay, so not a boring textbook that you use on your course, but the kind of book that people choose to buy. They buy it in the airport or somewhere like that, okay? So, Tom Peters' famous book, In Search of Excellence. There's another one, Good to Great. Lots of books, best-selling books that people choose to buy. Okay, and again, most of them have done those. A number of them, this says business school connected, so a number of them had connections with business schools or management schools. That's interesting for reasons that we'll talk about. Well, I find it interesting. Later, okay? We looked at how old they were. Most of them, except one, were over 50 years old. Okay. So me, I'm too young to be a management guru. Haha, that's a joke. Self-deprecating English humour. Okay, most of them, not all of them, most of them were more than 50 years old. About half were former executives. So not all of them by any means had been executives or had business experience. So Jack Welch had experience as an executive. Yeah, he'd been the head of General Electric. Henry Mintzberg has never been a manager of anything, even his own life, you might argue, if you know Henry Mintzberg. Okay. All except one had some kind of qualification, normally a master's degree in some area of management. Okay? Many of them wrote columns, popular columns in magazines. Okay? So as well as writing books, they had a public profile by writing in magazines or newspapers. Okay? All of them, made corporate speeches. So they didn't just make public speeches. Okay, in the stadium, like the Rolling Stones, but they all made speeches for companies, for private companies, backstage, for executive development, management training. This is comparing open speaker, that's the open speaker, and about half of them also worked as consultants. Okay, so they didn't just do speech making. Okay, they also worked as consultants as well, so they have two aspects to it. So it's this kind of cluster of things that makes a management guru a management guru. You okay? It's good. If this was England, everybody would be watching football on a Saturday afternoon, or drinking beer, or sometimes both. Okay. So, from the business, I presented my research in a number of places. The last time I presented this research in England was 3 weeks ago in Liverpool. You know Liverpool? It's near Manchester, near where I live, very close. They have a football team in Liverpool. Okay, this is the kind of things that people say when I present this, and as you will see, my research is very sympathetic to management gurus. Okay. It says we as professors, we don't treat them seriously and we're rude about them. Okay, we don't give them, okay, and people say, yeah, but they're charlatans. You know charlatan? Mm-hmm. Okay, they're snake oil salesmen. Buy this special water. Drink this water, you will be attractive to members of the opposite sex. And get a snake oil salesman. They sell. Let's see if it works. No. Okay. So they're charlatans, and people get the professors are, and they get really angry. No. These people are charlatans, and I think maybe some are, but I know some professors who are charlatans. Okay. Not in my university, but I've met professors, mainly American ones, let's say North American professors. They're charlatans as well, you know. So, it's okay. So, and one of the messages I'm saying, in a way, there's a competition between gurus and business schools. Okay? We're both in the same market in some ways. We're trying to sell management knowledge. Okay? And the literature around management gurus, the academic literature, is particularly about the market, if you like, for management knowledge. Although it's mainly written by sociologists, organisational sociologists and HRM people, rather than marketing people. And it talks about, for example, it uses the word senders of management knowledge, the people who put management knowledge out there. And of course, the traditional senders of management knowledge are business schools, management schools, like we are here today, like where I work in Manchester Business. All those people, they send, they sell, they give out management knowledge. They're very clear. They're not a motivational speaker. So I don't know. They said they have this category in their mind. Motivational speaker comes and makes you go, yeah, woo, woo. Like at the start of a football match. Okay, they're in a better category. Okay, a motivational speaker is different from a guru in the sense that motivational speakers are easy to manufacture. In this market of motivational speakers, you can find magicians, street workers, sailors, sportsmen, and an artist. You know, the guy who travels around the world by himself. The head of the English, not the football team, because rugby team. Okay, sometimes we're in a rugby. Okay, all of them presenting a show which is good for conventions and congresses. Okay, so you know we have a convention or a congress, but that's not a management guru. Speakers are divided in three castes, and I respect the first two. Executives who combine content and experience. Thinkers who combine content with intellectual faculties. If you remember, some of them were former executives, some of them were psychologists or had that background. And entertainers who make people laugh but have no content at all. We're not like those. We're serious intellectuals. Okay? I don't believe in motivational speeches. When people go back to their homes, they soon forget what they have listened to for 1.5 hours. And this is not going to help the company to perform better. But at the same time, he says, but you know, nobody's going to hire me to demotivate people. Okay? So I don't want to do motivational speeches, but on the other hand, you know, I have to do a bit, because otherwise, you know, I'm not going to hire, you know, if I make people feel bad, I'm not going to get hired. Okay, so, and then they talk about how they do it. My success is due to my ability to integrate content, delivering it in a simple way with humour. So I convey difficult ideas easily with humour. My listeners can say, I was able to understand Nietzsche you know, the philosopher, the German philosopher guy, right? Because I present his ideas. I translate tremendous ideas into simple ways, and people feel good because they can understand. Part of my work is like an art. So this guy is actually happy to talk about performing. I like to be on the stage, to be exposed. It is a risky activity. And the recipe of my success is aligning 5 principles: content, context, stage, method, and luck. Okay? So we haven't got time to go into those, but he's recognising what I do, and my standing up to perform is part of what I do. To produce context is an art. This type of speaker has to do a lot of study, again, okay? So he has content and application. There's space for everyone. The contractor must know. So he's saying, you can't, when you do, particularly for corporate speeches, you have to talk, you have to understand the business. You have to understand the business problems and issues, and tailor what you do to the actual needs of your client. Okay, we're running out of time, I guess, just as it's getting. But let's talk about, I'll talk very quickly. Clearly, just as we professors call them charlatans and snake oil salesmen, and we write papers about what management gurus do, management gurus have an analysis, a critique of us as professors. Okay? They know why they're different to us. They know why they see us as rivals, and they think they know why they're better than us. Part of their story, okay. My undergraduate was in business administration, followed by a postgraduate at a famous American business school in 1973. My supervisor was a world-famous strategy scholar, and I followed him around the world.